So this pair of moccasins here are made of hometown hide. And they're called a lady's Huron moccasin. Usually they're decorated with fringe at the heel. And they're called a center seam. So the center seam is because there's only a seam up the front and directly in the back. This style here is worn by the Cree people. So usually this little vamp here would be decorated with like a horsehair, trimming or porcupine quill work, and it also has a center seam up the toe, and it also has the small fringe at the heel. But this one here is made out of commercial hide. So these would be worn by Cree people, northern Alberta, and even the woodland Cree from the east. With this style of moccasin here is called a gathered toe, because all around throughout the toe area there's very small gathers that give it the shape. So it's called a gathered toe moccasin. These are worn by many different area people, so like woodland Cree. You'd also have like Dene people wear this style. And with this pair here, all of the decoration is made with porcupine quills. So before beads came over from Europe, we did all of our style of decoration with porcupine quills, horsehair, items that are found in nature. So this also has beaver fur around the trim. And in the back, you have a heel as well. So it's sewn down the center and across to give it that shape. So this style is again a gathered toe style, where all there's gathers, but you notice they're white. That's because it's called brain tan hide. So this is what a hide looks like at step 12 in the process. And these cannot be worn outside or get wet or anything like that because the hide would stiffen up. So what the smoke does in step 13 is it waterproofs it and preserves it from falling apart or going back hard like rawhide. And here we have beadwork. So this is a northern style beadwork. And you'll notice a lot of the little circular designs are made by woodland, northern woodland Cree people, or also the Dene like to do circular designs. And it has white rabbit fur as a cuff. This also has a small cuff on the side. So a lot of times you'll see that they'll also decorate this cuff that goes around the opening with beadwork, or usually a red felt underneath. So that's that style. We also have here a very small baby style gathered toe moccasins that the cuff is fully beaded here and the vamp. So very decorative for a small pair of moccasins. So here we have a pair of contemporary Inuit style moccasins. They look similar to the gathered toe moccasin, but they're made of many different pieces. So you have a vamp, you have a welt, you have a side strip that goes all the way around, and then you have a sole. So there's like 3 pieces to this moccasin. and this, with the seal skin, the beadwork is attached, and it's also finished with a beaver fur around here. So this style is different with the 3 pieces to connect it together. And on this style, again, this is more like a Northwest Territories, more northern style moccasin. And again, it has like 2 pieces. So they have the vamp, but it doesn't have a welt. And you also have like caribou hair tufting on here. And then you have a sole and with a rubber added on afterward to prevent it from getting wet, because this is made from sheepskin, which gives you a fuzzy inside to the moccasin from the sheep wool. And then it's also trimmed with a white rabbit fur cuff. So that's a more Northwest Territories style moccasin. So with the next pair, these are called a side seam moccasin. Now these are worn in a lot of different areas now, but I believe that they started making these in the South, so into the States, like that. So the easiest style of moccasin to make, because you don't have to do any gathers and you just sew around the outer edge to make your moccasin. And with the cuff, you could do different types of decorations. Sometimes I'll have fringe here, different shape, and they add the cuff on afterward. These are made with commercial hide, but usually they would be done with home tanned, and sometimes they're beaded all the way around the edge with a lazy stitch. So those are more southern style. This pair here, you'll notice that they're made of natural material. So these are made from corn husks, and they're made by the Iroquois people. So these would be considered a style of footwear. Probably in the beginning, they'd just be worn as footwear, but now they only use them for burial moccasins. So they're woven out of corn husks.